I wanted to talk to you today about abusive relationships.
Okay.
More specifically, I think often when we talk about abusive relationships on social media or just with people in general, their mind automatically goes to a romantic relationships, typically between a man and a woman. And, the rest, we all know what we could be talking about. Today, I really wanted to focus on non-romantic abusive relationships.
Love
and,
that.
and that those are just as harmful as romantic toxic relationships.
Of course, 100%.
So first of all, do you have any experiences with a toxic relationship?
Without a second thought, yes, I've had, and I'm not saying it's just one, but I've had, and especially with females.
Mm-hmm.
It might have happened during my school years, but in a very, minimalist way.
Yeah.
But the biggest one that really shook me and my self-worth was a very recent one that I had for 2.5 years in my, and that was a professional abusive relationship.
That's, I think when professional relationships comes into play, I think people need to realize how harmful that is just because of the power dynamics that are also present.
Yes.
Right? If you think just a basic friend-to-friend toxic relationship is harmful, which 100% it is, imagine someone having power over you and you being stuck in that position and that relationship.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you think, what were the consequences or what were the results of this relationship that you had? What are the long-term impacts that you're noticing now or that you've already noticed?
Honestly, I tell this to a lot of people whenever I'm having a conversation around this. Like, I see this as a badge of honor for me in the first place, because not everyone can go through certain relationships which are toxic or abusive. I don't know how I made it through. But actually, I won't even say that I don't know, because yes, I do know about it a bit in terms of. Let me put it very simply. What the biggest mirror, the biggest reflection it gave to me was to be closer to myself. What it actually means to be your true friend.
Yeah.
That's what this relationship gave me as a lovely gift for life.
You said that this relationship lasted like 2 years roughly, right?
2.5.
Yeah. 2.5 years.
Yeah.
So do you think your cultural background and the way that you grew up influenced how long you stayed and put up with the conditions that the relationship presented you with? Yeah.
Yes, I'll be honest in terms of the way I was raised, and the culture that I come from is more of it preaches or it encourages being subservient to the authority and not voicing back and just listening to what they are saying and keep showing up and ignoring if little bit of things here and there do happen, and not being able to stand up for yourself, and in fact even for that person that I was with was also from a culture which was pretty similar in terms of being subservient to the authority and listening and treating the people who are lesser than you as inferior, or even in my culture sometimes people do those things. I'm not into that trap, but
do you think that this cultural or generational pressure that people have, that colored women specifically have, do you think that prevents us from speaking out about non-romantic abuse? So I feel like romantic toxic relationships have become a widely spoken about topic.
Yes.
But then these type of professional power dynamic relationship, I think they're still very taboo when you speak about them.
100%, because then it places you at risk, it places your professional image at risk, it places the person who has power over you if they persist. Like sometimes they might be removed from the position, right? But if that position is still prevailing, that can impact your career, that can impact your future, then it's completely a taboo topic, and you should be sharing it about it. You should bear that in silence, and that is what I did. And the biggest mistake that I made, or I won't even say that as a mistake, it's a learning opportunity for me. I see it now as a growth of not staying silent, because you let the perpetrator perpetrate abuse as long as you choose to stay silent about it.
I mean, I think you came out of this toxic unfortunate situation, you know, that honestly should not have occurred. You know, I feel like it's very much an abuse of power from the person, from the professional relationship that you were in. Anyone who has power over another person and they use it poorly is just bad character on them. And it's really, I really think that it's one of the more disappointing things people can do, because instead of using your position of power for good, I don't know what's going on in your brain, but you're tearing someone else down. And I think being educated, you know the influence you have, and you're doing it knowingly. You can't even blame this on your unconscious. Yeah. You're educated, you're fully grown, you consciously decided to do this, right?
100%.
So I was going to ask you, do you think for some people having this toxic relationship, do you think it might make them not easier, but it make them more like prone to seeking out more toxic relationships because of what they're used to? Do you think that a proper relationship might feel foreign to them?
I agree with that, because here comes a way your brains are wired. So our brains are wired for familiarity, something which feels familiar. Oh, abuse looks familiar. And this highs and lows, like even in romantic relationships, there is passion and the next day there is fight and passion, and we are in this roller coaster. So it feels familiar. And if someone enters in your life who really gives you that peace and stability, you find it foreign, you find it weird. You find it as if the person is pretending to be someone.
Yeah.
Because you're so used to that. And that's why sometimes I like to put it this way. When you really need to learn a lesson in your life, you are really sent the souls who teach you a lesson. And my biggest lesson that I had to learn for myself was to realize my self-worth was not dependent on authority. Because I was someone who was really like, oh yeah, if the person in authority says this is who I am, this is what my image is. And if they say something wrong, oh, I'm devastated. And that is the biggest thing that I learned. And yes, sometimes I have tears in my eyes when I look back and I see what the things that happened throughout. But at the same time, I'm happy about this, that I was chosen for this, because had that not happened, I won't have been able to reflect into myself and really come closer to the real essence of who I am.
I mean, no, I think it's really beautiful that you were able to go through something that, you know, is not easy and learn something out of it, which I think a lot of people aren't able to do. It's very easy to get caught up in negativity. And, you know, instead of growing, people kind of just shrink.
You know, one of the analogies I use here is abuse happened to you.
Yeah.
Now it's your choice to transform it into victimization or transform it into power.
Yeah.
Many people choose victimization because staying in victimization is easier. Transforming into power needs work, needs isolation, needs those moments where you really cry and look into yourself of the areas where you need healing. Victimization is like, yeah, I'll put the blame on you. I don't care. You were the one who ruined my life. I'm dead, this and that. So people always want to choose the easy way. Victimization is the easy way. Power is the tougher one.
I want to ask you about toxic relationships within families. Have you ever experienced a toxic relationship within your, related family?
I think a bit of that reaction was pretty much evident, that I think every family has a bit of a toxic element involved. Not to generalize it for everyone, but yeah, it could be your relatives, could be your further people or cousins or whatever, or it could be even your immediate family. So yeah, not an exception to that.
How, when talking about toxic relationships, typically when you're in one, you're told, you need to get away, you need to end things with them, you need to distance yourself. When it's with your family, it's a bit more complicated than that, right? Let's say you're in a toxic relationship with your mother. You can't just cut your mother out. You can, you can hate her for 3 hours, 3 days, 3 weeks. At the end of the day, she's still your mom.
Yeah.
You can't be like, okay, bye, I'm never speaking to you ever again. How do you heal yourself when you can't cut someone away?
The best way to heal yourself is to have compassion for the person why they're behaving in a certain way. I'm not saying you can have compassion for someone who's going around and killing other people, but even there has to be an element. There is a reason why certain people behave in a certain way.
Yeah.
What if that person underwent trauma?
Yeah.
And now they've resorted to, that's the thing. You can either transform your trauma into things that you'll do to harm other people, or you can transform your trauma into a way in which you want to help people. Choice is yours. Trauma did happen. That's a fact. So, in the first place, when it comes to families, yes, it's hard. Sometimes, you have to really bear up with certain toxic behaviors. But instead of cutting that person off, can we just create a space? It's not about that. It's the interaction which goes bad.
Yeah.
It's not about the person being bad or you being bad. It's just that the energy doesn't align. If we are very quick to label, this person is bad. This person, the energy doesn't align. No. That person is right in the way they are.
Yeah.
You are right in the way that you are. But probably when you guys interact, the energies don't align. That is where the interaction goes bad, not the person.
Yeah, and also I want to bring back to what you said about trauma. I feel like people, yes, everyone has their own trauma. Okay, you might have gone through something I don't know about, and like in your family, someone might have gone through something you don't know about.
Exactly.
But I also want to say that I think nowadays, with the way mental health is trending right now, I think people find it very easy to blame or justify behavior with trauma, which is something I'm very against. Because yes, of course, you went through something, it changes you. Yes, it affects your behavior, but you justifying it multiple times, at some point you're just going to start using your trauma to justify simply bad behavior. Yeah. And it will have nothing to do with the trauma. You're just justifying it.
Absolutely.
You're like, today I slapped this person because, well, when I was younger, my mom locked me in my room.
Exactly. No. See, the thing, that's what I'm saying. Trauma happened to you, that's a fact. Now it's your responsibility. Now it's your choice. Keep blaming your parents. You didn't give me this, you didn't give me that love that I deserved, and that's why I'm all broke, I'm terrible, I'm in this terrible shape, my personality has gone bad. You can do that. Or you can understand, acknowledge the fact that they did whatever they could.
Exactly.
To the best of their abilities. Now, I know where things messed up, what is the void, and I have the power to work on myself.
I feel like something that I've come to understand is that, not feeling angry and not blaming my parents doesn't mean that I'm invalidating what I went through.
Yeah.
And I think that's where people get confused.
Yes.
Forgiving someone is not for them. It's for yourself.
It's exactly.
And you will feel better when you do it.
Yeah, because you are carrying that fire inside you.
Exactly.
It's not about the other person that, if I carry this fire, this will attack the other person. No, it will not. It's only attacking you. It's only harming you. That's why when I said this analogy that I used for forgiveness, please be selfish with forgiveness. You want to be selfish in life? Please
that's
go
where
ahead.
you be selfish.
That's where you should be.
100%. I'm so happy you brought this up, because I think more people need to hear this, that, just because you're not angry at them anymore, you're not invalidating your feelings.
Yeah.
Nothing is being invalidated. In fact, you're growing.
Exactly.
It's if you can think about something traumatic that happened to you without wanting to scream at that person, that's a sign of growth.
Exactly.
It's a sign of acceptance.
You acknowledge it, but at the same time, you don't want to victimize or blame that person.
And I feel like, it's so, I talk about this very often now because I see it so often. People wanting to stay in their trauma because it's trendy. It's like, this daddy issues, this mommy issues, this
and because it gives ego an identity to attach with, and you love thriving on that, right? Ego needs that.
And I feel like people don't want to let go because it's trendy. It's trendy to have not something wrong with you, but it's character.
And if you let go, then you're like, who am I?
Exactly.
Right?
So
you want a story. Everyone lives by a story, and you want a story to attach yourself with.
Exactly. So that's why it's like, I don't care if it's boring right now. I don't care if forgiveness is boring right now. I think your body and your mind will thank you if you can give away a little bit of that anger. And I swear, I'm someone who used to be very angry all the time, genuinely. And so I'm not going to say I never get angry. I do get angry, but not in the same way. Right? Not in the same way. I'm not constantly mad at someone for something, and I'm not looking to blame someone for something. And I want to say it feels so much better to just, when I see my mom and my dad, I'm not angry. I'm like, you didn't have money, I'm mad at you. No, it's like, you know what? I'm actually thank you. I'm here where I am. Yeah. Even if I didn't have the best childhood ever, I didn't go to Disneyland every 3 weeks, I'm happy. Like now where I am, I'm good and I'm not angry. And oh my God, that makes you feel so much better. Even though I don't care it's not trending, I don't care if I'm supposed to have trauma. The trauma's not going anywhere. It's still there. Trust me. You want to talk about it? We can talk about it. But that step forward, leaving the toxicness is important.
Yeah, 100%.
And I hate that social media right now is going in the direction that like, oh, like it's trendy to be toxic or to have something toxic done to me. You know what I mean?
Why do you want to live by an identity that breeds toxicity?
Exactly. So, I feel like I kind of stepped away from our topic right now. So
no, but actually, this is really essential to be talked about and to be out there in the public.
I fully agree. It's especially to the young kids who are on social media right now. You know, you see all this talk about toxicness and like, you know, mental health and trauma, and you want to be part of it, so you're probably going to go seek out that abusive relationship.
Yeah. Exactly.
Just to gossip about it, or just to do something.
To have an identity to attach yourself with. Yeah,
exactly. So it's very, very important to talk about.
Yep.
I want to ask you one last thing. Given your experience with not only an abusive relationship in a professional setting and in family settings, what do you think? What is one thing that you wish you could have told yourself when you were in that position? When you were
my
in that
God, this is just. I might start crying, but just know that nobody can take away what you already have in you.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.